Even if you've been playing Forge of Empires for years, I can almost guarantee that there's still some hidden or little-known secrets in this game, from keyboard shortcuts and useful tricks, all the way to random facts that you still do not know. I've collected 25 of my favorites right here to help you level up your game. First up, if there's a quest condition for doing something in the guild expeditions, say completing 10 encounters by negotiating, this quest condition will auto-complete if you completely finish all 80 encounters. This is really handy for mini challenges asking for you to do a lot of negotiations in the feature. Just complete it and you're set. Have you ever wanted to change the time that the daily challenge starts and ends? The good news is that you actually can. By hitting the little settings button on the daily challenge menu, you can choose the start time for your daily challenges, and they'll end at the same time. This is extremely useful if you play on a server that has a different time zone from you. Want to know how many goods, forge points, and resources you'll need to move up to the next stage? Simply head over to the tech tree, and in the top left, there's a button that'll bring up a window with this information. Choose the age on the top, and you can see what you need with resources you already have and the difference between the two. A similar page also exists for the cultural settlements that even tells you more info, like how many playthroughs of the settlement you've completed, the amount of diplomacy you need, as well as how much of that settlement's currency your settlement can produce in 4 hours. Have a long list of stuff that you need to scroll through when trading stuff away at the antiques dealer? Open your inventory, select the lock button, and then tap any items that you don't want to sell. Afterwards, none of these items will show up in that list, and also won't be able to be manually deleted until you undo the lock. With a recent update, you can also use this same button to favorite items, meaning that they will be pinned to the front page of your inventory for easy access. If you're doing event quests and want to jump immediately over to the event minigame, tap anywhere on the banner at the top of the quests. It'll open up the minigame for you without having to close the quest window. Have you ever wanted to look for a specific kind of notification in your event history? Say if someone has attacked your city recently? At the top left of the event history window, which, bonus fact, you can get to by opening your town hall and choosing the news tab and then event history, there's a menu that says show filter options. Hit that and you can now sort by player type, so all players, friends, guildmates, or neighbors, and different actions such as social, which is basically just aiding, battle events where someone attacked your city or plundered you, guild events including whether someone joined or left your guild and if a guildmate aged up, friend events, so players sitting in your tavern or sending you friend requests, trade events which appear when you have trades that were recently taken, great building events including when guildmates first place a great building and when a great building you contributed to levels, and lastly achievements which tell you when you got an achievement. Have you ever wished that Forge of Empires just felt faster? Well, you can uncap the frames per second, or FPS, from the default 30 via the settings menu. As long as you have a decent computer, it makes the game feel way more responsive, from moving around your city to button clicks, scrolling, and more. While there's no FPS cap setting on mobile, you can make it feel a little bit snappier by disabling window animations and battle result animations in the animation settings. Number 8 is that you can quickly open some menus via the bar at the top of your city. Clicking on your city's name brings up your profile, your current rank brings up the global rankings, and clicking the goods icon that shows how many of each current era good you have will open up the goods page of your inventory. Another rather useful one to know is that you can search for specific great buildings in the rankings window. Open the rankings window, go to the great buildings, and then switch the dropdown from players to great buildings. Enter the name of the great building you want, and it'll show a list of 50 players with the highest leveled ones. I think that's enough window and menu tricks. Let's talk about your keyboard. Sorry mobile players, but this section is not for you. There's plenty of useful keyboard shortcuts, and here's all the ones that I know of in alphabetical order. A lets you move left in your city, start attacks in guild battlegrounds, and start manual fights on the battle screen. B opens and closes the building menu, opens the building slots in guild battlegrounds, and starts auto battles on the battle screen. C opens and closes the message center. D lets you move to the right in your city and also shows or hides the detailed view with province names, building slots, and enemy boost types in guild battlegrounds. E opens and closes the guild expeditions. G opens and closes the guild menu. I opens and closes the inventory. M opens and closes the campaign map. N lets you start a negotiation in the guild battlegrounds. Q opens and closes the quest menu. R opens and closes the tech tree, think R for research, or replaces injured units. S allows you to move down in your city. T opens and closes the markets, think T for trade. U opens and closes the army management window, think U for units. V opens and closes the guild versus guild window, if guild versus guild still existed. W lets you move up in your city. X cancels productions in production buildings. And the number keys, 1 to 6, let you set productions in your production buildings or even in your barracks. Pro tip, hold the key down and it'll set the same production for every building of the same type, for example, all of your jumpin' pumpkins. You can also use the number keys and the space bar to speed up your negotiations. First, hit the number of the slot you want to choose the good for, numbered 1 to 5, then hit the number of the good you want to select from 1 to 0. Once you have all the goods selected, hit the space bar to submit your negotiation. You can use the arrow keys to move around your city, just like W, A, S, and D. In most menus, you can use the backspace key to get back to your main city, including from the campaign map, guild expeditions, and guild battlegrounds. The escape key works in most cases to close out of windows. And the last key that I know of that has a use is Tab, which works on some menus to move to the next tab. These include the quest window, inventory, town hall, and rankings, but it doesn't work for the message center or the build menu. To not leave my mobile viewers out, here's one for you. You can swipe to abort quests. Instead of having to fuss around with the quest text, just swipe to the left and the quest will be aborted. Now let's shift gears to some more generally useful tricks. If you've ever wanted a way to take notes in the game without having to write down something or take notes in another app or program, you can. In the message center, create a group message. Add 2 other random players of your choice, then send the first message. Immediately after, go to the thread settings at the top left on the browser version and kick both of the players that you invited. Now you'll have a 1-person chat thread, perfect for note-taking. This is really handy if you play across different platforms. This next one is really only valid for tech tree buildings, but instead of selling your houses and then replacing them with better ones, there's an easier way. So long as the newer building is the same size, you can just place it on top of the old one. It'll automatically sell the older version and start building the new one. If you've ever felt like you could use some more event currency to get to the next upgrade in the grand prizes, or get that daily special you want, you can get a small amount of extra currency for free every month. To get it, you've got to sign up for the Forge of Empires newsletter, which you can do by heading to Settings, Data Usage and Management, and then making sure this checkbox is checked. The best part, they don't spam you and only send out emails at the start of each event with your free currency. Not a bad deal. Is it ever difficult to know if you've got incidents hiding anywhere, especially during an event? Take a look in the wilderness outside your city, then turn on flat mode via the building menu so that you can see all the roads in your city. No more clicking each road hoping to find incidents. One of the most underrated great buildings right now is the Seed Vault. It provides resources when you aid, including diamonds, and is extremely efficient at producing them, more so than any other great building. Go build one and join the cult. This isn't a trick, but it's good to know. When you complete a fight, you might notice that there's an icon showing a 120% boost for your city being enthusiastic. However, this boost to points is actually applied no matter how happy your city is. This was changed back in 2022 and the icon was never removed. These days, happiness only affects your coin and supply productions, so it's not too big of a deal if your population is unhappy. Need more of a specific boost in your city? The easiest way to see if you've got anything that can help is the Town Hall's Boost Overview. Find the boost you want, click the Add button, and it'll bring up a list of all the sources you currently have of getting more of that boost. Now I just want to share some of my favorite game fun facts. Leveling great buildings takes many forge points. What if I told you that you could do that for free? Way back in 2014, the attack great buildings of Zeus, Cathedral of Aachen, and Castel del Monte were rebalanced for the then upcoming Guild vs. Guild feature. To compensate for the loss in attack boosts, players were given great building upgrade vouchers that increased the great building's level completely for free. These are still in the game and actually still work if you still have the items. Did you know that 2 great buildings were suggested by players? Back in 2013, InnoGames ran a contest on the forums for great building ideas. The Chateau Frontenac and Alcatraz won and were implemented with the Progressive Era. You can still see the names of the players who suggested those buildings in the description of each great building. In the Progressive Era, the battlefield gets bigger. Well, not actually, but each tile requires 50% more effort to move over, making it harder for units to get across. Now, what do you think connects these 5 great buildings together? The correct answer is that they've all had their artwork changed. Back in 2019, they decided to update the artwork to fit in with the current style of the game. In the case of the Notre Dame, Frauenkirche of Dresden, St. Mark's Basilica, and Castel del Monte, these changes were rather small. However, the Tower of Babel got an absolute facelift and now looks much better than before. A sixth great building, the Dynamic Tower, also got a major overhaul so large that its name was changed to the Truce Tower. Prior to the postmodern era, the Champion is classified as a fast unit. In postmodern and above, it becomes a heavy unit despite no significant changes in its stats that would make that change obvious. Did you know that the names for marble and alabaster in the game's art are swapped? Marble is called alabaster and alabaster is called marble. That's why, on my Discord server, the alabaster's emoji is named marble. The city's background isn't one big image, rather it's made up of a bunch of smaller images that are put together like a puzzle, with most of them being used multiple times. And for our final extra fun fact, if you want to stay up to date on all Forge of Empires news, strategies, and more, consider subscribing so that you don't miss any new videos. Also, join my Discord community to talk more about Forge of Empires and have fun with other players. That's going to be it for this video, and as always, I'll see you all next time.